Parashat Behar B'chukotai, finishing off Sefer Vayikra, ending off a week of Lag BaOmer, in preparation for a week of Yom Yerushalayim. So many things going on. We know the famous question we ask about Parashat Behar. Why is it important to speak about the fact that Shemitah was spoken about in Har Sinai? And there's so many answers and so many ways to interpret this question. Why does the Parsha speak about this significance of Shemitah being spoken about on the mountain? But maybe just to focus for a minute on this concept of the mountain, we know that in Judaism, mountains are significant, starting from the fact that the Akedah is done on a mountain, the idea that Har Sinai is on a mountain, Har Moriah is on a mountain, Yerushalayim that's chosen to be the city that we're going to celebrate on Thursday, Friday, is a mountain that Harim Saviv La, that there are many, many mountains. And the most important thing, I think, to focus right now on the idea of the mountain is that in order to have a mountain, there needs to be a valley. And these two areas, they pretty much summarize the majority of our daily experiences. The valleys are where we have questions, and the mountains are where we can make statements and have clarity. The valleys are where we don't know, and the mountain is where we do know. And I think to associate these two locations with two center pieces of our daily lives in Judaism, Tfilla and Torah. Torah is given to the mind, and it shows us what we know, and it enables us to associate more and build more on our knowledge. Tfilla stems from chisaron. It stems from a place of lacking, a void, things that are unknown, questions that we have, things that we're struggling with. People that don't struggle, they really don't associate with tefillah so much, because tefillah is very different than Torah. It's dealing with chayei sha'ah. It's dealing with things that are not simple. And so we have these two areas of our lives that could simply also connect to the mountain. And tefillah is very much connected to the valley. You're walking in the valley. That's where you're davening. When you're on the mountain, you look around and you could bless and you could feel blessing. And you experience the concept of Torah. This week, Dishmaya, we began after a long 2 months the journey of Tanya's chemotherapy and helping to Be'ezrat Hashem heal completely and come back to a better way and a new rebirth. And what's interesting was thinking last night at the bonfire that the day we found out finally about it was on Tanit Esther, and the day that the chemotherapy began was on Lag BaOmer. And I was thinking about the relationship between these two different days. And I think the idea of Tanit Esther is where the Torah became Tfillah. That there were so many things that we thought we knew, but we were lacking yearning. We weren't searching. And this idea of entering into the unknown and davening and saying Tehillim was very much the experience of finding out about the diagnosis of the breast cancer. And that was the Tanit Esther, where Torah became Tefillah, where what we used to know became unknown, and so many things that were clear became unclear. So we went from the mountain into the valley. We went from the hal to the guy. We went from the Torah to the Tefillah. What's so unique about Lag BaOmer is that Reb Shimon Bar Yochai teaches us that we need to make the Tefillah into something that is clarity, that we're clear, that the unknown is something that we're strong about, that we have conviction, that we know where we're going, that we know our right mindset, that we have the right passion and the right derech and the right circles and the right assistance and the right help. And for Tanya to enter on Lag BaOmer it's very clear that that's a day that's very much the definition of what Tanya has done with this valley, is that she's made it into a mountain. If it's in the shower that she had with her students of Nigunim, if it's a Sudash Lishit with a community of singing together, if it's, giving out chocolates to the nurses at the hospital, if it's finding other people that are getting the chemotherapy, that you give them games and things to enjoy, to not get into the valley, but realize that you could go from the Tfilla and connect to Torah. And I think that's Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, a person that had so many doubts that they were running after him. And he went into a place and he created Torah. He created clarity. And that the mindset of a person could be stronger than the doubts of life. And so, the bracha, as we go into the end of Sefer Vayikra, is that we can really learn the difference in life between the moments of Tfillah, of the valley, and the moments of the Torah, the mountain. That we can learn about the depth of Yerushalayim Yer HaKodesh that's surrounded by mountains that are built by valleys. So many of the people that were fighting then in 1967 with so many questions, they weren't controlled by them. They decided to elevate them, to be in control, to not suffocate, to not get too anxious about the questions, but to utilize them to become the answer, to become the Torah. And Baruch Hashem, personally for me, to be surrounded, first of all, by Tanya, then by the kids, by the family, all around us, and all the friends, and so many people that we don't even know in Am Yisrael that are just focused on giving clarity that you're never alone. And so we should really reach that level of Rishon Bar Yochai, that with all the questions that we have, to recognize that clarity is a mindset, something that we could build, something that we could create. Hashem, it should be the greatest refuah, refuah ta nefesh, refuah ta guf. A lot of simcha, a lot of circles of ava, a lot of shalva, armonotayich. And we should all be zoche to really connect to this story of Sefer Vayikra, story of the Har, and Bezrat Hashem, recognize that the doubts in life are in order for us to realize that the one thing that's clear is our mindset. We have to keep fighting for our mindset to sometimes be stronger than the doubts of life. And B'siyata Dishmaya, we should all be zoche to celebrate Yom Yerushalayim, Rosh Chodesh Sivan, Shavuot, so many big things coming up.